this is the best way for me to kind of paint what's happening in my head.
Hello and welcome to Where the Living Room Used to Be, a podcast about Rhode Island's music scene. Hey everyone, it's James. Providence rapper and beatmaker ToadStool has a new solo album entitled eARTh 1 coming out this week. So on this episode we have a track-by-track discussion across the entire album, as well as talk about how this multiple-piece concept project has evolved over time. If you're not too familiar with ToadStool, check out some of the previous episodes we've done with Toad and the Stooligans and Ronald Raygun to learn a little bit more about his story and music. And hope you enjoy the episode. It's always fun to talk with Toad. He's a super talented artist. And make sure to check out his new album when it drops digitally on April 23rd, or pick up one of the limited edition marbelized cassettes he and I teamed up on that comes out a day earlier on eARTh Day itself. Thanks.
Honestly, I think it all really started with the typography of everything. I like when you can find other words inside of a bigger word. I don't know why. It's just really aesthetically pleasing to my brain.
Yep.
And I've just had this idea to do art inside of the word earth, because there's so much derivative from one another that it's kind of hard to ignore it. And everybody's earth is different in the sense that we're on the same earth, but perspective wise, everybody's view of earth is completely different from the next person because of different experiences, different upbringings, that shit. And it was just for me, here's my earth. This is my view of essentially how I feel about certain things. There's a lot of honest shit on this record. There's a lot of just references that maybe other people might not get, but I understand and they're meaningful to me. And I thought it was cool to I don't know, to just try to keep with the beauty of it, the beauty of earth and the beauty of art, and trying to merge those through hip hop, which is, pretty ambitious, but try my best at it.
So this is eARTh 1. And for this interview, we're going to do, a track by track conversation about each piece of that. But this is one piece of a bigger project, of a bigger, overall concept, correct? How many?
There should be 3. So okay. I have 2 done right now. I have 2 fully pretty much ready to go. Obviously the first one, which is coming out April 23rd, and then the second one will come out I don't know, maybe this year, maybe early next year, but relatively soon, because all I need for that is artwork to be done, and I've already had conversations with the person who did this artwork to be ready for the second one. So eARTh 3, I honestly don't really know where I'm gonna be at that point in my artistic whatever the fuck this is. I do want to finish this. I do want to close this out at some point, because I don't like to leave things undone essentially. But this hopefully will be a trilogy. Right now there's 2, hopefully there'll be 3.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah.
But you just brought up the art. So for this record, each track has an individual piece of art produced by the artist. Is it Lancaster Dodd?
So his name is actually Anthony Medeiros.
Okay. Sorry.
No, it's fine. He just does that on social media to fuck with people.
He got me.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
He's a great person. We actually have a crazy connection. hopefully he won't mind me saying this. I don't think he will, but we both went to rehab back, like way back in the day, like probably a decade and a half ago. And we just stayed in touch because he always did these crazy like Ralph Steadman like splatter pictures with like ink pens. And I was like, holy shit, this stuff is amazing. Like right up my alley, like very creepy, very like, I don't know. There's just something so interesting about it. And then when I finally got around to like figuring out how to tackle this, I went to him and I just kind of gave it to him. And I was just like, whatever you feel is the right price for this, I will pay for it. It's like, I have complete confidence in your ability of what to do. So whatever you interpret, really. And like, he sat there and he really listened to it, because he was like catching shit that I really didn't think people were going to catch on their first listen.
Yeah.
And I think he did everything justice. I mean, it's so unique. It's so out there, like, and it captures a lot of me, which is tough to do because I feel like I'm also really out there most of the time. It was kind of funny because like I went into it expecting like, oh, I'm gonna get the same stuff that he did years ago. When like obviously no, he's grown as an art, like that's just not how things work. So like he handed me this stuff and I was like, oh, this is a whole nother, this whole project just got elevated to another level because of all of this. Like this is amazing. I didn't ask him to do every track. He just no, he did that.
You were just like, can you do a cover for me or something like that? And he was like, I'm going to do 15 pieces or whatever it is, you know.
He did
actually did more than that,
some of them. He did duplicates of some of them, and I was like, oh my god, dude! It was amazing, and he got it done quick too.
Yeah, how big are the original pieces? They're okay, so they are, I don't know, like 14 by 17 or something like that.
Yeah, that seems about right, honestly.
Cool.
Yeah, all on cardstock. And all That's done nice. With like crazy different styles. Like when I went to go pick him up, he was just going through the paint that he used. And I mean, I don't know anything really about any of this stuff, but he was using like, paints, and he's like, if you hold it under this light, like you're gonna get a cool effect. And I was like, this is next level shit that like I don't even. We have some pictures we took of like blacklight versions of like some of these, just to see what they came out as, because he was using like fluorescent like yellow coloring for some of them.
Wow.
It was wild. I can't believe the amount of work he put into it.
That's awesome. I mean, one thing that comes to mind, and you know, we can kind of get into the songs, because I'm sure we can get a little bit deeper into all of them, but some stuff that came through to me with this record is a little bit of, and I mean this in like in the planetary sense of even just kind of like the two poles, like bipolar, that there's a piece of like what you're talking about is like, there's some puffing of your chest, kind of like cocky rap stuff, like better flow things. I mean that, in a positive way, But then there's also like a little bit of like self-deprecating, kind of like battling with depression, so it kind of
absolutely
hits on both of those things and sort of the duality of that and sort of the conflict between it. Even within people, I mean, I'm very guilty of that stuff too.
Everybody is.
It's just like, I'm good at this, but I but I also suck at the same time.
Right? That's how it is. You need that balance, because like without one, you're not going to know what the other feels like.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like, for me, that you nailed it with the poles thing, because like that's exactly how I envisioned it. It was like, oh, North Pole is like nice happiness. Like, you kind of in my head, that's like, oh, Santa Claus and shit, cool, love Santa. And
South
Pole, like, oh, no one goes to the South Pole, fucking wasteland. But it's just that dichotomy.
Well, penguins,
just having,
penguins, but I mean, we'll kind of talk about some of the beats, because I think that the symbolism of that, like there's some happier tones and like the samples that were used, a little bit more horns and they're more vibrant. And then there is just some like more somber, deep, dark, just sounds, not even the words that you're saying, but just the sounds or,
Definitely.
A lot of stuff is kind of slowed down. So it has that more demonic feel to it. And then that's intermingled with just, these kind of bright, even like, I guess that's one other thing that kind of came across to me too, was even, again, maybe I don't know if I'm just looking through the lens of Earth, but it seems that you pulled a lot of sounds from around the world. Like there's some like European sounds, some like Asian sounds, like, was that something that was intentionally put into this?
So I think about like 3/4 of the way through it, I was like, oh shit. I kind of noticed the same thing where I was like, oh, this sounds like a different part of each world. And the next like 3 or 4 beats that I had to finish out this project, I was like, okay, I think I know what I want to do with this and like where I want to get the samples from. Cause I had some, just some random, I've been getting these random foreign vinyls from my homie at work and like, just some crazy shit on them. Just like not even music sometimes, just sounds, just pressed sounds.
Oh, really?
I'm like, where are you getting this shit? But yeah, I just, that's cool you picked up on that. I wanted to like incorporate different sounds and like also the rawness of it. It's like the physically feels like it's buried in dirt sometimes. Like there's a couple songs on there where it's like, oh god, this is like existential dread at its finest. But we can get into that.
But so you produced this entire record. Is this your like first solo record or like
this is my first solo record of this magnitude, I would say, like with this much going into it. This is definitely my first like outing with me doing everything, me doing the PR, me getting the artwork done, obviously not doing the artwork, but figuring out what to do and like the creative process behind it. And this has been going on for probably 2.5 years. I mean, there's been 2 other versions of this album. That nobody will ever see ever. I learned quicker than I could put out the music.
Oh, okay.
And it kind of gets to a point where I look back at it and I'm like, oh, that's awful. I cannot put that out. That's terrible. Why did I put that out? Yeah. And it's just kind of like, I've learned to like keep up with myself and like learn to let go of some things, choose my battles, figure out which hill to die on, so to speak. So it's a process. That's the growing pain of it,
But how were these songs put together? Was it just done periodically over that time period? Like a song here, a song there, or
pretty much. This is a collection of songs. I mean, over, like I said, past 2.5 years. Some of it was done in a bigger chunk. I would say like half of the album was done in a pretty short span of time. I probably got that done in like a week.
Okay.
And that's kind of how I write. I hit like huge pockets of momentum and then I stop, and then just huge pockets of momentum and I stop. And it's kind of like this on and off thing with me. But yeah, I just kind of piece together these things over time, and then, like you do, you kind of start correlating ideas and figuring out, okay, we started here, we're going to move on through, how are we going to end it? Just stuff like that.
Yeah, where did like sequencing come into this record? Was there a lot of thought that was put into the track order and everything like that? Or
yeah, definitely. Honestly, I think that's like one of the most important parts of an album. Because I mean, if you hear an album the wrong way, like out of order, it kind of like fucks with your head, and you're like, this isn't right. This doesn't flow correctly. Like, so I definitely pay attention to that. I wanted that juxtaposition there where like you're kind of going back and forth with like, yeah, I'm a bad motherfucker, and then like, oh, I really don't like myself today. It's like,
yeah, okay.
And that's my Earth. That's the back and forth.
More grams in my couch than the eighth you copping. Ever since the tapes popping, I've been straight obnoxious. Took some days, but when I wake, you know I rake the profits. Look in the mirror and I praise the prophet that's looking back at me. Check yourself, I'm invading pockets. So much cake, I gotta bake my wallet. It's either destiny or maybe fate, they call it. All I know is I never prayed to be ballin'. I was made to be all in. Every chip on the table is a minimum wager. No time for these minimum wages. Sweet layers like a cinnamon bagel. Rap game, fucking Citizen Kane. You ain't able, I ain't stable, so there's no horsing around. Discounts from the dealer like it's 40 a pound. Imagine what I'm paying when I'm scoring an ounce. Spending change near the grams that I store on my couch, boy. Oh, it's nothing to me. I just come in and I do it.
I'd say let's just get into it. You know, the first track, Couch.
Yep.
Very welcoming, you know. You just say hello. I don't know if there's that many rappers that are as welcoming and as cordial as you, of like, welcome to my album, you know?
Right. Hey.
But yeah, what can you say about that track?
Like you said, very welcoming opening. And not just me literally saying hello, but the sample itself is like, it was a very, very fast Spanish song, if I believe, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
But yeah, I had that and I was like, oh, that's a really nice sample. And I just, it's just like that perfect, like welcoming track. Like, okay, we're going to kick this off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to spit some bars for you on this nice beat. I got that Doom sample at the end.
Yeah.
I had that even before he died. I've always loved Doom. Doom is my numero uno. So it was cool to like, you know, put that out given the circumstances afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a great track. I mean, I think I don't know, maybe people will hate it. Who knows? But I like it. Like classic boom bap feel. I mean, I just wanted to accentuate what I do. First track, you know, set it off.
Yeah, exactly, man. I think it's a great intro. I think it showcases what you do. And kind of, I mean, it's like what you're saying, kind of sets the stage. So, but yeah, I mean, from there we go into Diamonds. Which, you know, I mean, to me, I really liked how you kind of seem to play with, again, some of the speed of the samples. It seems that you're kind of like fucking around with some of that stuff. And
I like my tempo switches, definitely.
But yeah, can you talk a little bit more about that song and you know, what your thoughts are on it?
Yeah, so you know, you come off the first track, you're still in that honeymoon phase. You want to hit him still something a little fresh, you know, not too I hate myself yet. So this is like this is still, you know, a shit talker. You know, diamonds on my neck flashing. I mean, you can't really pretty, you know, pretty front and center.
Yeah.
I actually had my homie Mike Landry, he put some bass down on this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he did a great job with it. Just, you know, pretty simple song. Just the reference to Kanye, obviously, with the flashing lights. Kind of.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that's where that came from. So, just wanted to play off that bravado that, you know, he brings, that crazy guy.
Yeah. But yeah, after that, track 3, Maggots. You know, this is one of those slower beat songs that the vibe seems to change a little bit. Yeah, some of what we're talking about it, you know, like that.
Yeah. You get that wave, you know.
Yeah.
That wave in the middle of the day, like where it's just like, oh, I don't know. I mean, that's what happens. That's what happens to me. I don't know if it's for a lot of people, but like sometimes you'll be having a great day and then all of a sudden that shit just shifts.
Yeah, is that what that's really kind of referencing?
Yeah, definitely. It's just like just like the whole food for thought type thing. You know, just finding maggots in your food. Like I don't know. Shit, just like it's stomach turning, essentially, is really what I wanted to go for.
Okay.
And like that's why there's like some shit panning all over, and like when you listen to it, it's just like, oh, I don't like the drums are kind of off. Like I don't know.
Yeah, there's like kind of longer keyboard chords, like sustained things that just kind of
yeah. Right, yeah. I just want to be really gross with it, and what better way to kick off the self-loathing aspect of this album.
Yeah. But from there we move on to the song Anvil. Got a little bit of like a jazzy sample to it. That's the first single you dropped from the record. So some people have heard this and or check it out now if you're listening. But can you talk a little bit more about what the concept is behind that song?
Yeah, Anvil, very simple. I think it was just a sample and my drum pad, just really nothing going on. I just wanted to like kind of air some shit out. And Anvil is, just feeling that weight, just having that anvil kind of sitting on you, and you're trying to move forward, but you can't because you're too caught up in maybe your own bullshit, maybe someone else's bullshit. I don't know, maybe your own head. Like, who knows what it is, really? It doesn't really matter. You're still caught up in something, and it's physically and mentally weighing you down.
Yeah.
And there's the whole like reference to bugs kind of a little bit in this song, and I don't really know if this came across well, but in my head it was like, how like ants carry tremendous amounts of I wanted to kind of like play off right, yeah, like play off that of like, that shit can get heavy, but like look at these fucking ants. These ants are carrying like huge boulders on their backs, and they're still they're tiny. They don't have fucking huge muscles. They're not muscly ants. I don't know. That's where my head was at with this. Yeah, just a very somber song, honest. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. From there, Instant Transmission is the next track. To me, this kind of had a little bit more of like a menacing sound to it. Probably has one of the most brilliant adaptations of a familiar line of 13 beers going on 30. I think that is, super smart. And, I'd love to hear what you have to say about this particular track. But yeah, this is where some more of that, what I was talking about earlier, where there's a little bit of that balance between the two sides and a little bit more upfront about drugs and alcohol and stuff like that, so right. What were you thinking when you're putting the song together?
It was definitely like the grittier of songs on this record. The whole instant transmission thing is a reference to Dragon Ball Z. It's this move that Goku uses to just like instantly appear somewhere else that he needs to be in a very quick amount of time, essentially. And that's how I operate, is just fast. Like, I work in a kitchen, it's in my brain and my wiring to kind of, go. You got shit to do. Get your shit done. Let's go.
Yeah.
So like, that's that reference is like, okay, yeah, I'm sad right now, but like, I got to be on my cocky shit. Like, I gotta keep going. Like, I can't let that kind of get in the way. And that's where the instant transmission comes from. The beat is just, grimy, very, very grimy. It's just a bunch of noises, really. Like it's very percussive, like a bunch of percussive shit happening, really. Yeah. Kind of makes up most of it.
What kind of came through to me as well is that you're, kind of talking about, drinking and drugs or whatever, but it's, to me, a little bit more of like the sort of like internal conflict with some of that stuff rather than
definitely
like overall like just glorification, which can sometimes be more connected to hip hop music of like, I smoke the most weed, or I smoke the best weed, or I like drink the most expensive. You're like, I don't know, man, I'm like drinking, and
well, I mean, for me personally, like that shit ruined my life for a while. Like, I'm not afraid to say that like I made some choices I definitely shouldn't have, and I got real deep in with sharks that I really shouldn't have had. And, after doing that, it's like, I'm going to be 120% brutally honest now for like forever. And like, that's what I try to like kind of purvey in this, is like, yeah, that drug shit is cool for a little while, and then it just kind of fades out. So like, get out of your system now. Like addiction does not go away. Like people who think they're cured of being an addict, that's never a thing. Like that shit, that itch never gets scratched. Yeah. But like, you just got to take that shit, day at a time.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
If I'm not here to rap about drugs though. Like if it comes up because of, it'll come up because it's a huge part of my life, but like, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and be like, you should do this or, do this because I did it. It's all different. It's all relative to your own situation.
Yeah. No, but it's great. And it's great that you're, being honest with that stuff because it is more applicable than probably people really even think about, especially as what you're talking about of kind of moving out of that. For me, like moving out of like the teenage, early 20s, there's a lot of like, what am I doing with my life? Right. And a lot of that stuff that, more people can identify with, than probably would even maybe admit it, so.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, after that, I mean, we go to Choppin'. This is my personal favorite from the album.
Oh, really? Ooh.
Yeah. I think that the production on this is super solid. To me, I don't know, maybe just because I'm a pretty big sports fan, but I could like almost hear this as like a walk-in song, so maybe like I'm going to the plate, Choppin' comes on, that's my walking to the plate song, or
I love that.
Or you as a big wrestling fan or any else stuff like that,
damn.
It just has a lot of synergistic samples that it's complex. It comes together like really well. I dig the chorus. It kind of that pulls everything together. There's familiar sound of just fun rap. And to me, like what you're talking about is also just kind of being dedicated to this, like being almost a student of this and kind of representing rap music and hip hop music well. And I think that you did that with this song, but it has that, a little bit more of that old school feel to it. But yeah, I love this track, but, so I'd love to hear what you were thinking when you're putting this into it, were you thinking like, man, someone's going to walk to the plate to this song?
Definitely was not thinking that. Now that you say it, I love it, obviously. Yeah. Not the first thought.
Yeah.
I thank you for enjoying this so much. This for me was like, at this point I had felt like I saw the progress I took. I think it was just me listening to the beat and being like, oh shit, like I got it. Like that's the exact chop that I need to, like, that's it. That's where it needs to be. And like, after, literally chopping it up and like rearranging shit and just trying to figure out where the hell everything's going to go. Like, I don't know. I just nailed it. I thought I felt like I nailed it. It was very like old school hip hop. Like, this is in your face. Like, that's how I like my shit. I like to just give you bars. I want to give you a great beat. I want to make sure the drums sound good always. Like, if the drums do not sound good, everything else will not sound good. It's like the number one rule.
And as a drummer, that's what I'm
right. Yeah. It's just stuff. For hip hop, it's like, that's the driving force. And if it's not there, it's still the driving force because it's not there. And it's the absence of the drums that, sometimes works. But this was just like, this song was just me being like, oh, I think I'm getting this now. Like, I think I'm chopping it nice. I think I'm chopping it right. Like, I'm feeling it.
Got that fire horsepower like a rapid dash. Scorched liars with force. I'm rhyming all this factually. Y'all cattle to me. Round of the team. Pounding beat on the beat. Sound asleep like he found him a dream. Freddy Krueger with a handshake. Steady moving through the landscape. The feta oozing out my wallet, and it's truthful when I call it. Got me cruising through the music, no handbrake. Stay rooted, sans mandrake. Stay zooted, this frog make a splash the Van Damme way. The Terminator of a verbal prayer. Serve a ladle of that murder, art in earnest like a clan bake. The way you rap, y'all getting me nervous. You think Post Malone's a fucking food delivery service, and I think rap for giving me purpose. And that next to these fuckboys, I'm looking like a literal surgeon. Cause I've been chopping it nice, I keep going, never stop at the light. I never stop, no, cause I've been cutting them deep. But the knives gonna butterfly these punks like they meet.
Yeah, you know, track 7, Night Snacks. I guess I'd like to kind of hear the inspiration, kind of the nucleus of this idea, you know, because it's
kind of weird on first listen. You're like, what's going on here?
I don't even know if it caught my ear. You know, it was like the wordplay on it is the type of wordplay that is like Talib Kweli kind of shit, you know, where it's like, let's break down words. Let's take this to like a broader concept, you know, where, you know, like, so I guess I just love to hear like what, you know, brought you to that, you know, or maybe I feel like I'm not really even explaining it. Maybe you can explain it a little bit, but it seems like you're just kind of revolving around numbers and you know,
which is exactly what I'm doing. I can definitely explain on that a little bit more. So I had the first 4 bars like written down somewhere. So I'm on 95, doing about 95, listening to 95.5 or voice to 5.9. I had that written down, and I was like, oh shit, that's hot. I was like, I wonder if I can like do that for a whole verse and like just work off of numbers, but also try to tell this insane story about me and Royce the 5'9" hanging out. And like, and then, you know, I got to a point where I had to like try to end it, and I was like, how am I going to end this?
Yeah.
And then, you know, I end it with the whole, you know, no more 100 grams before bed, which like the candy bars, like don't eat candy before bed, or else you're going to have these fucking crazy dreams like I did. So that's why it's called Night Snacks. It's, again, I don't know why those two concepts came together, but they did, and that's what happened. I have terrible like sleeping problems. Like I don't sleep very well, but sometimes I have crazy vivid nightmares.
Oh wow. Okay.
And like that kind of plays into that of like the vividness of like all these things happening and like me actually remembering it, which is wild.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. The next track, High C. What can you tell people about this song?
High C. This one's probably my favorite. The sample is the song Watermelon Man by Herbie Hancock.
Okay.
I absolutely love that song. From the first time I heard it, I was like, I'm going to sample that one day. I'm going to turn that into a beat one day, and I'm going to rap on it.
Cool.
And I did just that. I had these bars lying around. It was just like a big chunk of paragraph of just me rapping, and it didn't really have a place. And I cut this, and I was like, I don't even really want to mess with the beat. I just want to keep this simple and just like just rap, like just straight bars all the way through, like just pure hip hop. And High C is just a reference to the lyric in it. This one is awesome, if only for the sample, because I love that song so much. So much.
Yeah, it's just kind of a straight ahead song. Like I don't think that there's too much, like the dynamics, or like the drums will kind of cut for like a little bit, you know, but it's
like
sort of
here
just
and
like,
there,
you know, but it's just that sample that just kind of rides through the whole thing.
Just the way they start that song, like you don't know where the beat is until that bass pops in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's where I'm at. I don't know. Something about that really just resonated with me when I first heard that.
That's cool, man. Yeah, so, you know, after that, track 9, Kaiju, you know, it seems like one thing that came up to me, and it seems like it's a little bit of a kind of reoccurring theme, is the reference to rappers or musicians like not putting in the work, you know, and like, you know, not being dedicated to this, or just kind of, you know, wanting the rewards of it, like wanting to be a star, but not understanding what actually even goes into being that star.
Yeah,
Is that
absolutely. That's like a huge theme.
Okay.
So to go off that, like it's not even that like I don't feel like people are doing enough. It's just like, and it's not even a certain person. I've just seen so many people start to do this and then either fall off or just like, I don't know, just like give up and turn into something else. Like I don't know. Like for me, I'm not trying to get famous. Like I know that sounds kind of weird for someone to like put out a bunch of shit and put all my time into this and expect not to get famous, but like I just want to be comfortable. Like I would like to maybe make some money off this at some point. That'd be kind of cool. But like I'm doing this for therapy. Like this is how I get my shit out. Cause like normally I'm really not very good with communication sometimes. And like this is the best way for me to kind of paint what's happening in my head. And I just feel like sometimes people think this is a get rich quick scheme and they think that they're going to put out, 3 songs and fucking hit it big. And it's just like, you need to kind of be brought back to reality that is not going to happen. Like you got to put in the work promotion wise. You got to put in the work lyric wise. You got to pay the people you're working with properly if you want shit to be smooth. Like there's just a lot of different factors that like that I've messed up on that I've learned from. And it's like some of it is like, like, all right, motherfucker, like step up, like step your game up because I'm coming in hot and I'm not stopping anytime soon.
Yeah.
And some of it is like, this is healthy competition. Like I need you to step up because that's going to make everybody else step up.
Yeah. Okay.
Like look at somebody like Joe Bruce. Joe Bruce is a perfect example of that. Like he's upper echelon and like that forces everybody else to be like, oh shit. Okay. We got to bring it up if we're going to compete with this. It's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. I absolutely love that. And like, I've wanted that for years, like I've wanted this core, the talent in Rhode Island is just insane right now. Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So some of it's shit talking, some of it's, just competitive, just step it up.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just to shout out to Joe Bruce, like I hear what you're saying. And I think it's, fantastic what he's doing. Cause he's pushing people but he's bringing them along with him, like if you want to, like you got to step up and do what you got to do. But it's not just about competition and I'm just going to like squash everyone around me. And he's like, let's do this shit together. Let's make Rhode Island a place for hip hop. And because
he understands. He understands this shit. He took the time to learn. Yeah, like he put the work in. That's what it's all about. Putting the work in. Like, honestly, who knows? I might not see any dividends from any of this shit, but like, I'm still putting the work in, and I'm proud of that at the very least. So,
yeah, man. So track 10 versus. Yeah, I mean. This was one that kind of stood out where it had that more kind of world sound to it, has like more flutes and stuff. Just kind of interested in some of the production of this song and then just what was the concept you're trying to kind of get across with this particular one?
So the sample I think is from a Herb Alpert Tijuana brass band.
Okay.
Cut. It was some intro with a flute. I just looped that chunk essentially is what turned into it, and I kind of fucked with it a little bit. And the whole verses thing was just me playing off the fact that I say verses probably like 4 or 5 different times.
Okay.
I kind of use them in a different context each time. And it's very much a like. I'm coming for you. Like that last one was kind of a warning, and now it's like, no, I'm like, this is me versus you. We're going at it. Let's do it. Yeah. Like, and it's that hip hop mentality of just like, stay on your game, be on your game, always be on your game, be ready, always be ready. Like, you never know who's gonna kind of blow by you.
Yeah.
very interlude track.
Rhyme through the walls of these catacombs. Knives on the claws like my cat at home. Finding the balls to even rap alone. Sights like a catapult. Fly when I break the glass ceiling to pieces. Feeling facetious. Never been on some kneel to the scene shit. I stitch a verse like we a pattern in a seamstress. You get a verse when I start feeling that you breathe this. You get a hearse, I got these rappers looking under they seat. You get a verse from me 25 out of 52 weeks. And I've been nervous writing verses till I'm hurting to breathe. The only certainty is death, so by those terms I agree. I'm like a vermin with beats, verbally surgical feats, pertinent, yearning to reach the most unearthly of peaks. Uplift this curse so I can purge all my weaknesses. Cause who needs this shit?
And next, track 11, Steven. Can you talk a little bit about this track? This one features Dan Pomfret. Yeah, it seems like it's the only feature on the record, correct?
Yeah, he's the only person I got for this. It'd be weird to have a project without Dan.
Yeah.
So this one's kind of funny because we have a friend named Steve MacArthur, and the sample that I use in this is the Arthur theme song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the little kid show, Arthur.
Yeah.
The meme of his fist was going around at the time, and I was like, I had just saw Steve at like a Halloween party, and I was going around the Halloween party recording people talking because we were all, drinking a little bit, enjoying ourselves, and I was just recording people. I thought it was funny, and I just got this wicked good clip of him talking about like wanting to be Jason Voorhees. No, I'm gonna be Jason. I'm gonna be Jason today, and he's just going off. And so I sampled that Arthur theme song, kind of cut what I got from my phone into the beat, and then figured out the verses and stuff, and me and Dan rapped over it. It's just a fun little song, and just a shout out to our friend Steve, who's we've known for years, and
nice.
He's always been the homie. So
that's rad, man. Track 12 is Sewer. Yeah, I mean, again, like another theme that kind of struck me that seemed to come up a couple times was sort of the I guess it's not even the idea, but it's like the truth that like an artist's value is higher after they're dead. That there's like more interest, or that there's like, a piece of artwork now becomes worth more, or whatever else it is,
Right.
Is that something that you were cognizant of, or, trying to get across, or was it just,
I just think it's something I noticed. I think, there was a lot of young rappers like dying, like a very quick span of time. I think like 2 years ago, maybe something like that. And I kept like opening up Reddit and being like, oh, so-and-so dead, age 19, so-and-so dead, age 22. And I'm like, who the fuck are these people? And then watching these people blow up literally because of them being dead, it's just like, it kind of put things in perspective of like, riding with the whole depression thing. It's like, holy shit, like what's the price here? Like what's the actual price here? Because like these are children to parents. Like, how do these parents feel? Like,
yeah,
I could only imagine. And then you see some of these parents like actually capitalizing off their children's death. And it's just it's just a wild concept to me. But it does have a little bit of truth behind it, where it's like, behind all this glamour and glitz shit, like there's a bit of a sewer there, and it's kind of brewing up, and like, I don't know, just, it really grossed me out. It's just like a really gross concept to me to like, to monetize, or like to gain some sort of social clout off of, like, I don't know. And the worst part is like the rappers that, pass away, they're always the ones that are glorifying this shit of drug use and like excessiveness and like just overdoing shit. It's like, dog, that's not cool. And it's really not cool when you're dead. So yeah, Yeah, there's the sense of martyrdom that comes with it, where it's like, yeah, you can be famous, but like, I don't know, if you're not there to reap any of your benefits, how famous are you?
Yeah. Yeah, but from there, track 13, Next Day. This one definitely had a much different sound,
Right.
using guitars and, more quieter, folky sounds, more singing,
little vocals in the background. Yeah.
Yeah. So what inspired you to put this track together and put this track, there in the album?
I think coming off of Sewer, at this point, I got 2 tracks left, and I really wanted to kind of give some sort of positivity and some sort of hopefulness, maybe. But this song particularly is just me dealing with like procrastinating, which I know a ton of people have problems with. You wake up, you have a shit ton of things to do, and you're just kind of sitting there like, I'll get around to it. And that's where I was just like, I'll get around to this eventually. And at one point it's just like, okay, I need to stop procrastinating. But yeah, I had that guitar sample laying on my hard drive for a while. I didn't really know what to do with it. And then I found those oohs, and they were a little bit higher register. I kind of pitch shifted them down a little bit. And it matched up super well. I was not expecting it to really match up that well. And I was like, oh shit, this sounds really good. Cool. And I just, wrote to that and stuck with the whole, saving it for the next day type of shit. Like, don't worry about it. I'll do it tomorrow. That kind of mentality.
Yeah, I gotcha. But I do have to say, I mean, if you're a procrastinator, I would feel bad if, for other procrastinators out there, as you put out, four albums in like 2 years, and have like 5 different projects going, and
that's the thing. I'll make 7 albums a year, but I won't fold my laundry. So it's like,
okay, all right,
certain areas.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, yeah.
Well, yeah, where I excel in one place, I definitely will lack in several other places. So
yeah. I'm hearing you. Yeah, cool, man. And then the last track of the album, I Don't Want to Die Anymore. I love some of the production on this. I think that it was really cool. How you did some of the like reverse vocal pieces on it. Right. Again, those are just some like little things that, at least to me, make your music really interesting to listen to. That it just
that's awesome. That's what I'm going for. Dope.
It might not be something that you hear like in passing, but or if you're just kind of listening to it, just, kind of in the background, but like just trying to do deeper listening with some music. And I think that stuff is cool. And that you took the time to, do small little pieces like that,
that shit's important.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, what would you, kind of like to share about this one? I mean, obviously, the title seems to be a very direct statement. It's not as ambiguous as some of the other, kind of references or, song titles. But what can you say about this closing track?
Yeah, I think for me, given the songs that were on this record, I think it had to end with this. It just has a very final feeling to it, and the track name is pretty on point. I don't want to die anymore. I feel good. I feel great. I feel like I have some sort of sense of purpose, which is, I think, really important. And I feel like a lot of people get wrapped up doing stuff that isn't actually fulfilling to them. And that shit sucks, and that shit will eat your soul up. And it's very important to get out of that hole and, try to feel as best as you can, given the circumstances, do what you can. And this song is like, there's so much weird shit. Like I have, when you mentioned the whole reversing thing I do with the vocals, the line before that, something about, it's a Roddy Piper quote that I kind of messed around with. Yeah, but it's like, just when you got the questions, I changed the answers. Or no, just when you got the answers, I changed the questions. But I kind of like reworked that.
Yeah.
And then I say it again because nobody's expecting me to say it again because I'm in the middle of a verse. And then I reversed the line, the next line.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, just when you think you know what's happening, I'm just gonna fuck with you a little bit. And like Doom does that too. Doom did little tiny shit like that like I always caught on to, and I was like, why would he do that? Like, is he just messing with me? I feel like he's just messing with me. Like, I kind of wanted to bring that over. It's just like, you know, I'm feeling good. Everything's fine. I know shit can be a roller coaster. Like, this entire album was a roller coaster, but you know,
yeah,
I don't want to die anymore. It's okay.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, can you talk about Earth One? Remind people when it's out.
Yeah, Earth One is going to be out April 23rd, right in time for Earth Day. Nice. You can cop that on Bandcamp. If you're feeling saucy, you can pay me for it. That's up to you. We got another tape set coming out. You know, special edition, very rare. It's like a holographic Pokemon card. You're never gonna find it again. It's gonna be the most ball and shit. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're keeping up with the art aspect of this, and I hope you enjoy Earth One.
Yeah, man. Definitely check that stuff out. Yeah, I mean, what Toad's talking about is that we're going to be kind of continuing with the bright colors and uniqueness of the artwork that is with every track. So these cassettes are going to be limited. They're going to be like marbelized cassettes with just a simple OB strip, which is kind of just like a thin piece of paper that kind of wraps it just so that the tape itself kind of becomes the artwork in a sense, is the idea behind it. So yeah, trying to still keep something cool and just a way to support Toad, to support all of the the profits from this go to him. And so if you can pick one of those up, again, they're going to be just cool, like limited edition things. I don't know how we call them, collector's edition.
It's going to be the dopest shit you ever got. Get 6 of them for your grandmother this year. She's going to love it.
Yeah. But yeah, I love working with you. And
thanks,
I can't wait for people to hear this record and, just to hear more of what you're doing, man. It's just, you're, a great talent here in Rhode Island. And, so just keep it up. Check out Earth One, April 23rd, wherever you stream music, buy a tape, buy digitally on Bandcamp. And ToadStool, thanks so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, James. Really appreciate it.
And I don't want to die anymore, but if I do, I hope that they fly me to heaven or I lie with the devil. Don't care, but my time's really precious to me. One of 3 things I ever love. I get obsessive, it never seems like enough, and I get stuck in my mind sometimes. I think it's necessary, rather at least feel something than be dead and buried. And it's weird how you can feel alive in cemeteries, just a reminder that fate always ends with a grave. I'm taking solace in that, keep trekking on this hard to move path. I know it's kinda hard to move past, but at least I'm with my dogs like I'm Wallace in fact. Keep my thoughts and my wallets intact. Take some time to go and frolic and laugh. I never sit and try to harbor my past. Just keep growing till my garden collapses. And my flowers ain't bloom yet, so how the fuck did I get too fresh? And I ain't even left my room yet. I stay grounded, and now you never wonder why the dude fresh living. Nice lines, they smell like fresh linen. My set's mission is hell. I've been wishing them well. I've been glistening, the mind's well. Stay dripping, stay sniffing the smell. Inhale, exhale out all the venomous, foul type of rhetoric.
Seems like I'm always fighting from a deficit. I'm giving them lightning when that pressure hits. Nuke button, stay pressing it.
I'm schooling dummies by changing all the answers when they question it. Y'all getting F's when you press those scripts. I'm schooling dummies by changing all the answers when they question it. Y'all getting F's when you press those scripts. What's every news fatting it var ju in det kälken of the stay you on the stop the mud looks my. I'm schooling dummies by changing all the answers when they question it. Y'all getting F's when you press those scripts.